Hi everyone, Donald here as always. Welcome back to another Pro Series video. In this video I'll be going over item override and patron override, why you would use it and what it does, and how to access it within your system. So let me just bring up my screen for you guys. So what we want to use these two options for is to override your loan periods. Now what do I mean by that? Let's say you have staff members, okay, and you always loan books out to staff members for X period of time. It doesn't matter what the item is. If a staff member loans it, they can have it for this amount of time. Now with the item override, you will want to be loaning out things like textbooks, okay? And I'll explain how it works in a second, but if you're loaning out a textbook, it's normally going to be for a term, sometimes a year, depending on the school. If you're loaning out maths books, for example, kids use those throughout the year. Obviously, you don't want to have to keep renewing that every 2 weeks. So I'll show you how you can set that up so that once you loan it out, even though your students have, say, a 2-week loan, it loans it out for whatever you want it to loan out. Okay, so first of all, let's just jump into our catalog, and I'll work with our item override first. Now to find the item override, you want to load up your record. Let's just find a maths book. Okay, let's just use this one as an example. Okay, here's my record. I've got one copy, so I'm going to jump to that copy. Okay, obviously with maths books you'll have sometimes hundreds of copies of math books. So doing this, what I'm about to show you one by one would take a long time, but I'll also show you how you can do it in bulk. So expand your barcode, okay, and you'll notice down here there's an override option. Okay, what that really, all it does is it looks at the loan type of the item, okay, and no matter what, it loans it out for that number or that time period, all the way up to the final borrowing date on the patron. Okay, now just so everyone is aware, the way that circulation works in SmartSuite is the system will always use the lowest loan period, whether that's on the item or on the patron. Okay, that does take into account whether or not you have item override or patron override selected. Now in regards to our item override, if let's say this book had, like fortnightly, it's not going to help. We've got term. Okay, I'll just save that. Now if I was to loan this book out to a patron, I'll show you what I mean. Okay, if I grab that barcode, ignore the error. Okay, it's loaned it out. Oh, I've got a final borrow. Let's just fix up my patron quickly. Lock. Perfect. You can see here I've got loan period of 2, renew period 2, renew period 2, reserve limit 1. Okay, so this means that when I loan that book out to myself again, it's only going to loan it for 2 days. And I'll show you how that works. Oops, put the full stop in there. So I've returned it, reload up my Patron. Okay, it's due back on the 19th of this month. Okay, but you know, it's a book that I want to loan out for a term. Okay, so how do I make the system see that and go, okay, ignore Donald's loan limit of 2 items and set it for the full term? Well, let's have a look at our record again. Okay, you've got your override option. Okay, if I select that, hit save. Okay, I can then go to circulation. I'll return that book off my name. Okay, I'm just going to double check what the limit on term is actually set to in our test database. Just to make sure that it is actually set for more than 0 days. Term. Okay, so it's set for 88 days. Okay, if I go back to circulation, paste in my barcode. Okay, it's due now next month. Okay, 88 days till it's due. Okay, so that's what item override does. Again, just to clarify that, my Patron here has a loan limit of 2 days. Okay, so even though I'm loaning a book, I want this student to have this item. Okay, so it could be a textbook, could be a geography book, whatever it is. They need this for a full term. Make sure in your catalog that you have item override or override selected on that record. Okay, and then when you loan it out, the system will see that that's set and will loan it out for whatever your loan type is set to here. Okay, that also works for your renewal types as well. So if this was set to term, okay, and I was to renew that book, it would renew it for that full 88 days. Okay, not just a fortnight as it was set to. Alrighty, so that's how your item override works. Now onto our Patron override. So if we just load up another Patron, let's just use lib for example. Okay, you'll see here my limits on lib. Okay, so I've got a loan period of 21 days. Okay, normally you would use the Patron override on your staff members only. As I said earlier, it's normally going to be something that you want to loan out for a long period of time, and staff can do that for whatever item they have. If let's just put this to 100 days, for example, I'll save that. Okay, so now lib has a loan period of 100 days. If I come into, you'll also notice here, sorry, is the Patron override. It's not selected. Okay, if I come here, this will be a good example. Copy my barcode, I'll just load lib, return that first. Okay, punch in my barcode, ignore that. Okay, I've got 88 days. Okay, but I'm like, this is a staff member, they should be able to loan for 100 days, or some sites have it that they can loan for the full year, so 365 days, or up until their final borrowing date. Just so everyone knows, it will never go past their final borrowing date. That is the master date. Once that's set, anything loaned, even if it had 1,000 days on it and you had item override selected, it will never go past the final borrowing date, which normally for most sites is I would say 16th, 17th of December, just depending on how holidays fall in. But yeah, so it'll never go past your final borrowing date on the Patron. Okay, so if I go back to my Patron management, select Patron override, hit save, yes. Okay, I'll go back to circulation, let's return that item. Okay, loan, yes. Okay, now it's still set to 88 days. Let's have, I don't think I saved it. Save. Return. Let's refresh this. Just check one more area. Classification. We'll check what the loan. So this patron's in grade 10. So while I'm doing this, this is another way you can set patron override in bulk for all patrons. You can see here it's still set to 21. I'll just go 100. Select your patron override, hit save. Okay, and then we'll go back to our patron. Let's just double check that it's updated. Refresh. Definitely still there, definitely selected. Let's loan out that book again. Okay, there you've got your 100 days that I've set on my patron. Okay, so patron override, simply all you need to remember is you override normally on staff members so that no matter what the item loan period is set to, it's going to loan out for that loan period. And if we talk about item override, again, it works for textbooks, loan out to students. Because students normally have a week or 2 week loan period, as I said earlier, the system will automatically select, 7 days or 14 days, whichever is the lowest out of the items, unless you have item override selected. Then it will see that and go, okay, this is a special item, I'm going to loan it out for 365 days or 88 days, whatever it is that is set on that loan period. Okay, now doing it in bulk, I showed you how to do that in here. All you have to do is, if you want to make sure it's set on all staff, find your staff classification. So I'll just go through that again. From your menu, configuration, authority editor, select your audience option, select class grade, so your year levels, find the year level you want to adjust. This will be staff. Okay, and you have your options here. Patron override, multiple copy. Just a quick one, multiple copy means that they can loan more of the same copy. Normally we don't allow that for students, but you do have the option to override that so that it won't tell you in circulation that they can't loan multiple copies. Just select that on your staff members and they'll sort that out for you. And again, depending on your school and how you circulate to staff, you'll set your loan period to whatever it is that you want to. As long as patron override selected, then you'll be all good when loaning out to staff members. Okay, and as soon as I hit save, that pushes down to everyone in that classification. Obviously, if you have locked loan limits selected, which is this here, it won't update those patrons. So if you do notice staff members aren't allowed to loan for 365 days, definitely double check here. If it is locked, just unlock it, hit save, and it'll automatically update to whatever the loan limits are set on that classification. Okay. And to our bulk setting of item override, if you go to, again, configuration in the menu, global functions, okay, you want to select catalog option up top, and you've got here, there should be 5 options that you can select from. Set item override by loan type, media, sublocation, and just a simple set item override. The one you would probably want to use most is just your loan type, because your loan type will normally tell you whether or not that item needs to have item override selected. So if you just double click that from your options here, okay, I can see here permanent, let's just say yes for that. Semester, term, year, okay. Any other options that you think, 4 weeks, these ones don't matter, 2 days doesn't matter, fortnightly can stay. Okay, I'll just close that. Hit your search option button down the bottom. Okay, this is the list of items that have those loan types. Okay, you can go through it if you want to and double check everything. You want to click on your change button. Okay, we've already selected what you want to change, so item override, overwrite to yes. Okay, you'll notice here there are 13,828 items. Okay, so just double check that. Click update, confirm, done. Okay, that's how easy it is. Now all these items or all the records with these 5 loan types will have item override enabled, so you can start loaning them out and not worry about the due dates not matching up to what they should. Okay, the other thing you might want to check is let me just bring it up. Back to configuration, authority editor, loan type. Sometimes your loan types can have a final borrowing date on them as well. Okay, so you just want to double check that either matches your Patron final borrowing date or is far away, so it doesn't affect any loans during the loaning periods. I always try to match them to my classifications final borrowing date, unless it's a specific item and you want that back before that final borrowing date. Okay, so that's pretty much it for your item override and Patron override. If you do have any questions, feel free to just chuck in a mailbox ticket. For those who are unaware of how that works, I'll quickly go through it for you. From your menu, you have mailbox. Okay, it populates support tickets automatically for you. Hit create a ticket, check on your subject. Okay, you can have option to CC in other admin members. Okay, if you don't want to CC anyone in, don't select anything. If you do, just click on it, and then in your message you can just say, hi there, can you please tell me how? Okay, you can upload an image if you feel like. Hit the little paper airplane and it'll send off straight to us so we can go through that ticket for you. Okay, other options you might have are concierge. These are for our new sites that have come across from older versions or different systems altogether. It's just a nice easy way that you guys can get yourself familiar with the system and get answers a little bit quicker so that you can continue on working. Okay, I also want to go through our help articles. For those who don't know how to access this page, that is the URL. Okay, I'll chuck that in the description below. But on every single page, there's a help button. Okay, if you click that help button, it'll load up a search from our search page, depending on the page that you're on. I was on circulation, so it's loaded a search for circulation. Okay, it's all our circulation articles there. If you go from your menu, you've got support option down the bottom. Okay, you've got training videos, search help, FSI user community. Search help will just take you straight to the home page, so you can just search in anything. Okay, it'll load up search results. Okay, you can then load up the article, go through it as a video for you to watch. Okay, so it's very easy to use, easy to follow. I'll just remove that. Another awesome little feature we have here, which not enough of you guys use, is our FSI user community. Okay, this will take you to our Facebook user community, where we have everyone on here. Not everyone, a lot, but I'd like there to be more. Wink, wink. If you can, yep, just jump in, have a chat with other librarians. They put questions in here about SmartSuite. They'll put questions about other things that they are doing in the library and want to see how everyone else does something. So definitely jump in here. We put notifications up here, like plan maintenance. You'll see up the top here a video I did last week. Where is it? Here. Okay, so I'll post all live sessions that I do to this page, so that you can jump on and have a look at it later if you couldn't watch the live session. So definitely do yourself a favor, jump in here, just so you can see what's going on within your community, okay, and what other librarians are doing with SmartSuite, and you know, what they're doing in their library themselves. Okay, so they're your options to contact us. Please feel free to do all. You can call us if you want. Just, you know, anything that you need assistance with, we're here to help. As always, I love that I can run these little sessions. You guys can join in and watch them later even. We just really appreciate all the help. I do want to say, if you can, subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you don't miss any videos. Also hit that little bell icon for us, and chuck us a like as well. Really helps get these videos out to other librarians using the system and those not using the system. We just want to be there to assist everyone. Okay, so enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Again, thank you for joining, and I'll see you in the next one.